In today's episode, a nation's dramatic ascent. Witness its explosive rise as ambition ignites a global storm, leading to unimaginable conflict and a destiny forever marked.
In 1868, the young Emperor Meiji reclaimed supreme executive authority over Japan, initiating a new era. The feudal Tokugawa shogunate collapsed, ending 7 centuries of absolute samurai military rule. Imperial forces marched into Edo, renaming the massive eastern capital to Tokyo. The landmark Charter Oath was declared, promising open public assembly and rapid modernization. Old feudal domains were abolished, replaced by a highly centralized prefectural administrative system. Japanese envoys embarked on the Iwakura mission to study advanced Western legal and industrial nations. The country eagerly adopted Western technology, fashion, and administrative ideas to strengthen its sovereignty. Traditional class distinctions began to dissolve under new and highly egalitarian laws. A new national postal service and telegraph lines quickly connected distant provinces. Heavy industry sprouted rapidly as the state built its very first modern factories.
In 1873, a universal military conscription law fundamentally changed the structure of Japanese society. Commoners were now armed, stripped of the samurai's exclusive and ancient military privilege. Dissatisfied samurai watched as their ancient social status and stipends rapidly withered away. Public education became mandatory, standardizing knowledge and nationalistic ideals across the rising nation. Modern railways linked Tokyo and Yokohama, symbolizing the unstoppable speed of national progress. Tensions boiled over in the South as samurai resentment reached a violent breaking point. Saigo Takamori led dissatisfied warriors in the bloody Satsuma Rebellion of 1877. The modern imperial army clashed fiercely with traditional, highly skilled samurai swordsmen. Saigo fell at the Battle of Shiroyama, ending the samurai era once and for all. The imperial government consolidated absolute power over a unified and pacified Japan.
Japan turned its focus toward building a modern legal and political framework for the state. New political parties emerged, demanding a national constitution and a representative parliament. Statesman Ito Hirobumi traveled to Europe to study Western constitutional systems closely. He drafted a constitution based heavily on the highly conservative Prussian imperial model. Heavy taxation funded rapid military expansion and new massive industrial conglomerates. Corporate monopolies, known as zaibatsu, began dominating the rapidly growing domestic economy. Steamships and coal mines fueled an unprecedented economic boom across the islands. In 1889, Emperor Meiji promulgated the historic Constitution of the Empire of Japan. This document established a parliament, the Diet, while preserving supreme imperial sovereignty. Japan stood proudly as the first Western-style constitutional state in all of Asia.
The newly formed Imperial Diet held its highly anticipated first session in 1890. Japan quickly cast its eyes outward, seeking foreign security and valuable natural resources. Control over the Korean peninsula became a major geopolitical flashpoint with Qing China. In 1894, the First Sino-Japanese War erupted over influence in the Korean region.
Japan's modernized navy easily dominated the outdated Chinese Northern Fleet in battle. Well-trained imperial soldiers quickly captured key fortresses in Liaodong and Shandong. The rapid victory stunned Western observers who had expected a Chinese triumph. The Treaty of Shimonoseki in 1895 ended the conflict decisively in Japan's favor. China ceded Taiwan and the strategic Liaodong Peninsula to the victorious Japanese Empire. European powers forced Japan to return Liaodong, sparking deep and lasting public resentment.
Determined to protect its regional gains, Japan embarked on massive military expansion programs. The nation secured a vital diplomatic alliance with Great Britain in 1902. Rivalry with Imperial Russia over Manchuria and Korea reached a critical boiling point. In 1904, Japan launched a surprise attack on Russian warships at Port Arthur. The Russo-Japanese War raged on land and sea with unprecedented casualties. Japanese forces besieged and successfully captured the strategic, heavily fortified Port Arthur fortress. Admiral Togo annihilated the Russian Baltic Fleet at the historic Battle of Tsushima. It was the first modern military defeat of a European power by an Asian nation. The Treaty of Portsmouth in 1905 officially recognized Japan's dominant regional role. Japan emerged from the conflict as a fully recognized major world power.
Following the war, Japan tightened its political grip on the Korean peninsula. In 1910, Japan formally annexed Korea, ending the ancient Joseon dynasty. Emperor Meiji passed away in 1912, marking the end of a transformative imperial era. His son, Emperor Taisho, ascended the throne amidst growing calls for democracy. The Taisho period witnessed a vibrant rise in liberal and democratic political movements. World War I erupted in Europe, presenting Japan with a golden geopolitical opportunity. Japan joined the Allies, seizing German territories in China and the North Pacific. The wartime economy boomed, transforming Japan into a major global creditor nation. Rapid inflation triggered widespread and violent rice riots across the country in 1918. Hara Takashi became the first commoner to serve as Prime Minister of Japan.
At the Versailles Peace Conference, Japan sought formal recognition of its global status. Japan was granted a prestigious permanent seat on the newly formed League of Nations. In 1923, the devastating Great Kanto earthquake destroyed Tokyo and Yokohama. Over 100,000 people perished in the resulting firestorms and ruins. Reconstruction efforts strained the national economy, leading to severe financial instability. Emperor Taisho died in 1926, and his son, Emperor Hirohito, began his reign. Universal male suffrage was enacted, but strict peace preservation laws restricted speech. The Great Depression of 1929 devastated Japan's vital international export industries. Poverty plagued the countryside, fueling radical nationalist sentiment within the military. military factions argued that foreign conquest was the only solution to economic ruin.
In 1931, rogue military officers staged the infamous Mukden incident in Manchuria. The Kwantung Army used the event as a pretext to invade Manchuria. Japan established the puppet state of Manchukuo, installing the last Chinese emperor. International condemnation prompted Japan to withdraw from the League of Nations in 1933. Domestic politics grew increasingly violent as rival military factions vied for power. Prime Minister Inukai Tsuyoshi was assassinated, ending party-led cabinet governments. Radical young officers attempted a bloody coup in Tokyo during February 1936. The rebellion was crushed, but the military consolidated supreme political control. Civilian leaders yielded to the military's aggressive demands for foreign expansion. Japan prepared its formidable forces for a total war on the Asian continent.
A skirmish at the Marco Polo Bridge in 1937 sparked war with China. The Second Sino-Japanese War escalated rapidly, engulfing major Chinese cities. Japanese forces captured Nanking, committing atrocities that deeply shocked the world. Despite heavy losses, Chinese forces refused to surrender, creating a military quagmire. Japan signed the Tripartite Pact with Germany and Italy in 1940. Seeking vital resources, Japan occupied French Indochina, prompting a Western oil embargo. The United States demanded full military withdrawal from China to lift the embargo. General Hideki Tojo became prime minister, steering the nation toward global conflict. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Simultaneous invasions began across Southeast Asia and the vast Western Pacific.
Japan achieved rapid early victories, capturing Malaya, Singapore, and the Philippines. The decisive turning point came in 1942 at the Battle of Midway. American industrial might shifted the balance of naval power in the Pacific. Allied forces began a relentless, bloody, island-hopping campaign toward the mainland. Severe shortages of food, fuel, and raw materials crippled Japan's war effort. American bombers unleashed devastating, continuous firebombing raids on major Japanese cities. The brutal Battle of Okinawa resulted in horrific casualties for both sides. In August 1945, devastating atomic bombs destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Soviet Union declared war, invading Manchuria with overwhelming armored force. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's unconditional surrender.